Welcome to Shooting the Shift with Marilyn and Elizabeth. These light warriors, both native New Yorkers, walk their walk, talk their talk, and keep the real in the deal. This dynamic duo joined forces to assist you through your transformational journey one step at a time, empowering you with spiritual tools you can use in your daily life. Each show begins as a conversation creating an opening for spiritual connection. There are never any scripts, and Spirit is always illuminating the way. And that's when the shift hits the fan. The magical messages of the ancestors, spirit guides, and Gaia are respected, honored, and always given sacred space to communicate. Join Marilyn and Elizabeth as they shake shift up and do what they do best, speak from their hearts.
All right. Good morning, Miss Marilyn.
Good morning.
Welcome to Shooting the Shift. We are so excited. I'm Elizabeth, and I'm here with Marilyn. And today is the day after the full moon in Cancer, and the nodes have shifted, and your Uranus has gone direct. And what does that mean? There's just a whole bunch of stuff going on. Mm-hmm. So I've been purging and feeling and healing and releasing, and I actually am really excited for our show today, Marilyn, because it's the first time that we're taking calls and letting people call us live.
Yes.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling excited. I'm ready.
You're ready? Ready to rise?
I'm ready. Yeah.
Shift the stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We're going to just dive right into it, and I'm just going to make a quick announcement because I know we already have a call. Our producer has let us know that. But if you would like to call in and ask us a question or tell us what's on your mind or anything like that, we would be most welcome to that today. And the number you would call would be 202-570-7057. I'm going to say that again, 202-570-7057. And Miss Marilyn and I are going to dive right in right now and let the shift hit the fan because we've got a caller named Pauline from, guess where, Marilyn? New York.
Oh.
Yeah, a New Yorker. So,
okay.
Pauline, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yes, I was just fascinated when I heard you guys are from New York. I'm not going that far. We're getting bounced all around from Pennsylvania, and I always thought it was North Carolina that the station was in, but it's not. I heard it's like being broadcast out of Pennsylvania, so we're like all over, being bounced all over, so it's funny.
Yeah, just like our spirits.
Yeah.
I actually never get to hear your show all the way through. I've caught bits and pieces, and I always thought you were about mental issues or something, but that's another show. So I didn't really know. I was told that this is your first show where you're asking for callers. So I said, I usually call all the other shows, and I never called this one. So he just let me know that you were doing your first. So I said, okay, I'm going to be the first then.
Well, fantastic, Pauline. You are officially our very first caller. So, may I get, if you don't mind, your birthday, but just the day and the month? You don't need to give me the year.
I'll give you the year. I don't care. 12/19/1960.
Oh, boy. Is this a sign or what, Miss Marilyn?
Mm-hmm.
This just happens to be my birthday, 12/19. So,
are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
Birthday. So, girl, I got some good news for you. I'm going to tell you right now. You are starting a whole new decade of your life, and you have just wrapped up a whole decade of your life. So if you were feeling like things were not coming to fruition as fast as you would like, it is coming. And this is a big new chapter, and you may feel like it's hurry up and wait in January. So if you feel like things aren't happening as the way you thought they would, then you're right in the right place.
Yeah, I can't expect anything. I know it's going to be better than I expected, so that's all I know. I'm trusting that.
Oh, I love that. Well, better than you expected. Yeah, because the universe is conspiring.
When I expect something, I sort of like disappoint myself because it's not well, I expect so little. I didn't expect anything practically. Even when you have the new moon and you make a wish, I don't even make a wish. I just like, whatever. Now I know I'm focused.
I think the key to that is really setting an intention versus a wish so that you can like co-create with the universe because they're working with you. And if you just make a wish, then it's like you're waiting for something to happen and you don't really have much to do.
Yeah, I want to be empowered. I want to be part of the process. I don't just want it to just drop in my lap, like not just like, okay, thank you, whatever you want to give me.
Exactly. Well, do you have a question about moving forward for this year?
Can you tell? That's not. I always ask the same question. I'm trying not to be so focused on this twin flame thingy, but I know there's people saying you cannot tell by their chart if this person is your twin flame or not. So I've been trying to find that out through anybody that has any inclination, and I know it doesn't. It's probably not that easy. So I'm not going to ask that question. Career, maybe career-wise, what? Because I have not done much. Except for clearing me and doing other people first before I ever finally got to me, and that's what I've been working on for over a decade now. And I'm almost done. I feel like it's always going to be a work in progress, so I'm never done really. But I'm happy where I'm at right now, and I just wanted to see what the stars and which system are you using? The tropical or whole house
I'm actually not doing astrology at all. I do talk about astrology on the show sometimes, but I'm much more of an intuitive. And I want to go back to the first thing you said about twin flames, because I do think there's a lot of confusion around that. And listen, you can take what resonates and leave the rest. But for me, soul contracts come in all shapes and sizes. And a twin flame generally is somebody that we usually don't meet, that is maybe unrequited love and can be a karmic thing that we're healing from a past life. So what I would say is you should really focus on this new decade and this new year is on a soul contract of what you want to bring to you with a soul contract, somebody that will be in your life and be healthy and supportive and loving. So yeah, does that make sense?
Yes, because I even downgraded it to a soulmate or somebody that I can work with that understands my healing. If I ever do healing ever again, that basically I don't really want to work as a healer. I just want to be they have to be in my presence, and if they want the healing, they get it. That I'm not going to make a big thing out of it, and I just want to enjoy life and just be who I am, and that's it. I don't really want to work so hard.
Well, darling, if you can focus on co-creating that and those supportive soul contracts coming in versus forgetting about the twin flame, because the twin flame is not supportive. I would avoid that at all costs. Run for the hills.
There are a lot of issues that brings. Like they are on the same earth, and they're not as they're doing the same. They're trapped here like I was, and not remembering who they are. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm remembering everything, and the people that I'm meeting are like looking at me like I have 5 heads when I mention my cosmic origin, and surprises me that there are so many levels to all the people out there awakening. Some of them are people that have been in this way longer than I have, and then they're going backwards from what I'm seeing. They're going into the fear and with the vaccinations and all that stuff. I'm starting to see, it's like my teachers, I have surpassed some of my teachers, and I'm happy to know that. And that was what...
Now, sweetheart, what I'm going to tell you is when you surpass your teachers, it's because you're on a next level, and that's where you're headed. So I would really focus on healing yourself, even if you're not going to be a healer. And I'm really sorry, but we're going to have to move on to the next caller.
Thank you.
Pauline, I'm really grateful you called in, and my birthday twin, and peace and blessings to you, sweetheart.
Thank you.
All right, believe it or not, we've got another caller, and we've got a woman named Mary Ellen who is calling from New York. All right, Mary Ellen, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi,
can you hear me?
Thanks for calling. Yes, I can. Thank you for calling Marilyn and Elizabeth on Shooting the Shift. How are you today?
Well, I'm okay, but one of the reasons I'm calling in is because I'm recuperating from many physical ailments. So I guess I could be better, but I'm okay. I'm working on it.
Okay, sweetheart. Can I get your birthday, just the day and the month? I don't need the year.
Sure, November 15th.
11/15. All right. And you've been dealing with some physical issues, and I feel like you're healing quite a bit now in the process, like maybe you're closer to the three-quarters of your journey on that side. Am I right?
Well, you could be right. I'm not really sure since I'm in it, and I am intuitive, and I am an empath, but I'm actually not sure where I am. So I feel like I'm somewhere in it, but I'm not sure where.
Okay. Well, what I'm getting very clearly is that there's a lot of change around you this year. There's a lot more freedom coming in for you. And I do feel that this is about you empowering yourself and empowering yourself on this healing journey. And I do see that there's some new... what do I want to say? Techniques, I guess I would say. New techniques where it's Eastern and Western medicine. So energy work with some of working with the traditional. Does that make sense?
Yes, very much. That's exactly what I'm doing, yes.
Okay, yeah, because I'm seeing that it's like, I don't know if you took a turn for something new or went with a new option or you're open to new things now. But I do see that they're being implemented in a way that's really supporting you and helping you, and that you're going to find some really good answers here moving forward.
Yay!
And you're working with more than one energy healer?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay, that's what I felt like. Now, do you have mobility issues, darling?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, because
exactly right.
I felt like, I felt some mobility issues. I've never, ever talked to you before, so I don't know anything. I'm just reading the energy that I'm getting here for you. And did you feel quite emotional in the last few days with that full moon in Cancer?
I would say not extra emotional, but emotional, yes. I mean, I am emotional anyway.
Right. Well, you did say you're an empath. Yeah, because empaths, we tend to be carrying around a lot of other people's emotions, and we don't even know that that's happening to us. And the thing that I'm going to say that's really important for you on your empowerment journey is to make the time for yourself. I mean, and I know that's so simple to say, but you do tend to overextend yourself with other people. And a part of this journey is showing you how that is no longer a consideration for you. I think you already know this. I'm not wagging my finger at you by any means, but they are making me feel strongly that if you don't make the time for you, then it's really not going to shift a lot. And I feel like you are well on your way. Just don't forget when you start feeling better and you start feeling a little more free with the things that are coming in for you, that you don't neglect that part and go zippity-doo-dah, I'm ready to go, because you're really going to need to still have that time and that nurturing and that loving self-care for yourself. Marilyn, is there anything that you would like to add into this with Phyllis?
With Mary Ellen?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mary Ellen. Sorry, yes, Mary Ellen. I'm sorry, that's my fault.
I will not add anything right now because I'm familiar with the caller, so I don't want to. Yeah, I didn't say that I didn't let you know that I knew her, but I'm familiar with her, and Mary Ellen. I think this is really on point, right, for you, and it's so
absolutely.
It's so beautiful to be able to hear that, right, and to have it coming as well from someone else who just doesn't really know anything, right, about you, other than reading your energy, which is beautiful. And yes, and you know you're on your path, right? You know you're on the right path, and it's staying on your path and recognizing that's gonna keep you, in the higher frequencies and vibrations that you're needing in this moment, right? So here we go, right? Because that's what it's about, right? It's about staying in your frequency and not detouring and going onto someone else's frequency, because sometimes what happens is we have a tendency to go back to the old patterns. And it's important for us to recognize, right? It's important to recognize that the frequencies that we're on, especially now when we're feeling better, when we start to feel like we're really moving and flowing in our own sacred space and pathway, that we remember how it feels. And when we get a little twisted or sent in a different direction, that we're able to pull ourselves back and center ourselves again. So I said I was going to say anything, but there you go. That's what comes in. But and that's and it's what comes in, right? Yeah, because it comes in, and I can't shut it down, right? And so so I'm thankful and grateful, right, that you've called in and that you were able to receive, right, and that you're able to feel better, right? Yeah.
I am, and you're absolutely right, Elizabeth and Marilyn. I mean, also as an empath, sometimes you don't realize the frequency. You just, first of all, we have our own patterns, of course, that is what you're speaking about. We detour into the past. Oh, that's an old pattern. Nope, don't go on that frequency. And sometimes as an empath, we're pulling in other people's frequencies, and we don't know it, exactly what you said, Elizabeth. So we're like, I think, it becomes better at us attuning and recognizing that that's not mine. So release.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, Mary Ellen, I would recommend one thing before we have to go off to our break in just a minute. So I just want to recommend, as springs, get those feet on the earth and just get them on the earth and just soak up the nutrients of the earth through the soles of your feet. Not recommending you go out there in a blizzard and bundle up and be barefoot. But I think that'll help you a lot. And I hope that you'll call us again in the future.
Yes, I will. Thank you so much, both of you. Thank you.
Okay.
Elizabeth, beautiful, accurate reading. Thank you.
Much love.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we're going to head off to a break. I know we've got Phyllis in New York, and she'll be right up after we get back. And stay with us and call in if you'd like to.
Bringing a more conscious lifestyle to your world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
My name is Victor Furman. Some call me The Voice. I've always been fascinated with human nature, spirituality, science, and the crossroads at which they meet. Join me Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio, and we'll explore these topics and so much more on Destination Unlimited.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week, she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Well, welcome back to Shooting the Shift. We are glad that you're joining us today. We're surprised we're getting so many callers right off the bat. We're really grateful for it. And we're just going to jump into our next call, which is Phyllis from New York. We're on a roll so far. I feel like singing Frank. New York. Hello, Phyllis. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Hi, Phyllis. What's your birthday, darling? Yes, I can. Just the day and month.
8/29.
8/29. My God, this is the day for birthdays. That's my husband's birthday. The first call we had was my birthday, so I'm very familiar with these energies. Of course, energies are like fingerprints or snowflakes. Every single person is a unique being. So this is just a flavoring of what's going on in your life. So, Phyllis, what brings you to call us today? What's on your mind?
Well, the question that came to mind, which I have quite often, is why I cannot tap into my creative energy. And by that I mean playing instruments that I'd like to be playing and doing some artwork that I would like to be doing.
Okay, sweetheart, so you do... Yes, so you don't have a physical impediment that keeps you from doing that. This is more like you feel like a blockage, like a writer trying to write a novel and having writer's block?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, darling.
Well, I'm not proficient with any of the instruments, but I do want to play them.
Okay, so you just said that I'm having a little bit of hard time hearing you. So you said you're not that proficient at playing some of the instruments?
Yes.
Okay. So, well, the first thing I have to tell you is that you've got a really big year in 2022, which is all about your connection to spirit, God, soul source, and the answers that come from within, not from without. So I would say that a lot of what's coming in here for you is tapping into your own inner knowing and your wisdom. I really wouldn't worry too much about the semantics of what, I'm just going to say it, Phyllis. We all have an ego, and I call that ego the itty bitty shitty committee, okay? And that's like the rawhide mallet that whack-a-moles us into saying, you're not good enough, you're not talented enough, you're not smart enough, thin enough, rich enough, whatever our enough's if. We all have one of those little committees, the ticker tape parade in our head. The feeling I'm getting very strongly for you is to feed the faith and feed the fun, okay? And don't feed the fear, because it's almost like you're too afraid to even get started. And the point of making a big old creative pile of something is to make a mess. It's to make a mess. It's to spin ourselves out of sorts. That's what creation is. To do something that we haven't gone to before and be in the childlike wonder of it. So I would say, I don't even think that you're actually blocked. I think that you're actually like the blip in the radar where you just get a little stuck and you just got to get through that little bit of angst and finger paint. Make mud pies. You can get bell jars and sticks and start drumming on glass. It's not about being a proficient, studied, scholared musician. This is about having fun and finding out what works for you. And I feel very strongly there's something about a clarinet or a flute, and using that with your throat chakra and your breath work to start making noise, getting it out of your body. The flute uses your fingers and having fun. I don't know about you, Phyllis, but when I was 8 years old, I thought I could play the clarinet, and I absolutely couldn't. I'm sure I tortured my parents. But the point of my story is I had fun. That is the key factor for you, is to embrace the fun and don't worry about the perfection of any of it. It's kind of like an oxymoron to say, okay, I'm going to organize a play date, or I'm going to focus on all the details so that I can have fun. It's like drill sergeant creativity. I would say I'm just going to have fun and see what speaks to me from the inside, from my heart, and play. Darling, does that help you? Does that resonate with you?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Okay. Is there anything that comes up that you want to share around that?
allowing myself to have fun.
Right.
And I think, I just need to do it. And it's funny that you said flute, because one of the instruments is the Native American flute that I bought about 6 years ago, and immediately played it and got sounds out of it, and now I'm finding it's difficulty getting any sound out of it. So, and I know the flute works. I've had it checked. So, it's just a matter of allowing. I like what you said about being in the mess. Make a mess. I like that.
Make a mess. Make a mud pie. Finger paint out of the lines. Go crazy. Allow yourself
a space. Make a mistake.
Yes. Yeah. And you know what? They're not mistakes. Those, I would say, every time you do something that's unexpected, I would say it's unexpected. It wasn't a mistake because it's going to open something up. It's like breadcrumbs on your path. There's one that leads you to the next thing and the next thing. And before you know it, I think that you're going to have yourself a grand old time. And I hear tinkering going on. So I hear glass tinkering. I hear a flute. I feel strongly you should go outside in the springtime and listen to the birds, because I feel like they can talk to you. I feel like they have messages for you. And I feel like you can hear the melody and they're chirping and tweeting and they're speaking to you. So I would highly recommend that you just try and be in the play and get out that magical magnifying glass you had when you were 8 and play.
Okay, thank you.
All right, darling. Well, peace and blessings to you. Thank you so much for calling us today.
Thank you for calling.
You're very welcome.
All right, now, Miss...
Bye.
Maldonado.
Ooh.
Or one other.
All right, well, there's a bird tweeting right there we didn't think was happening, so there's no mistake. Okay.
That is odd.
Our next call is PJ, and PJ is calling, I believe, from, I'm not sure, somewhere in Massachusetts. So, Pam or PJ, are you there? Hello?
Hi.
Hi, I can barely hear you, darling. Can you talk a little louder?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, that is so much better. So this is Elizabeth, and Miss Marilyn, I think she is going to work with you because I've been very busy so far. Do you go by PJ, darling?
You can call me Pam.
Pam. Okay, fine. Wonderful. We're so glad you called us. What's on your mind today?
I've just been going through a lot the past few years, and it just seems like my cycles keep repeating, and I need to break free and start gaining some ground. I mean, I've had family issues, health issues, money, work, home, everything all at once, and it's to the point where I don't know where to start, but I'm not one to give up, and it's like I've got to dig in somewhere and make some changes. I think this is the year to just restart everything for me.
Okay, I'm really tuning in and listening, and I'm going to ask for your permission to enter and to speak to your soul. Yes.
Enter at your own risk, but yes, please come on in.
You know, your soul has a lot to say, right? And a lot of times, what happens is that it really is giving you so many messages along the way. But what's happening is that you tune it out because you go into the old patterns, which makes sense, right? Because those are the patterns that have been developed, and they're already, how would you say, you don't need the training wheels for that, right? That's just like the cycle that just continues to be and to exist, right? So
Right.
it feels as though, I love that you said this is going to be my year. because I believe that when we say those things, the universe is listening, and then the universe is giving us and guiding us and showing us the way, so long as we stay focused in that positive state of being, right? Sometimes also what happens is that we may be doing, you know, what we can in every given moment, but we also have to remember that, because when I'm tuning in, I also hear like a lot of self-talk. Right? There's a lot of self-talk, and when I say self-talk, I'm saying that there's always that critic, you know, in the background who's in such a disturbing energy, right, that doesn't allow you to move forward in your thinking, right? Or let's say the right thinking, right? Because what happens is that once you start to judge the self, right, then you get caught up again in that cycle. And so the important piece is to try to, you know, if you, let's say you make a mistake, well, let's learn from it. Let's not beat ourselves up. Let's just say, okay, so, you know, I made this decision and based on the information I had, and it may not have turned out the way I wanted it to turn out, but what did I learn from this? Because I really believe that what happens is that when we tackle any situation that way, what ends up happening is that we start to give it a different frequency, and the frequency is that of love and compassion versus the critical judgment, you know, energy or frequency, right? So that's an important piece for you. I just feel like I can feel like a lot of twirling and twirling and twirling. And then there's that part of you that is saying, yeah, well, but I keep trying and I keep doing and I keep being and I just can't get there. And I just keep doing and doing and doing. And I just want you to just be. I want you to just be. So you really, there's that part of you that your soul is saying, just be in the moment. Be in the present. Acknowledge that which is happening. And release the judgment around it. Release the judgment. We can do that. And this is not being critical, right? If we can just release the judgment around our decision making, we can move mountains. I mean, seriously move mountains that we just thought were never going to be able to be moved. But it has to do with the frequency that we're holding. So I'm going to, as I'm speaking, I'm actually shifting a little bit of that energy. So, but I know that this is radio, and I know that I can't stay quiet, so I'm going to just keep talking as well. Okay, but a lot of this is because there's that old story. You know, there's a lot of old stories that you're holding on to, and it's so important to start releasing them. You know what? They serve the purpose, and at this place and time, we can just start to release them. We can surrender them. We can just say to the universe, it's okay. I've learned something from this. I acknowledge the teaching. And now I remove the emotion that was attached to it so that I can have the gem, right? The medicine that was coming in with this teaching, right? That I somehow just absorbed fully, right? That wasn't necessary, but we did it, and that's okay too. We don't want to get into criticism in that either. We want to just say, it's okay, wow, I did that, look at that, I did that, it's okay, it's all right, I'm okay, I'm all right, right? I am well, and I can make decisions. And yes, I can make mistakes, but so long as I know that throughout my life I am learning and I am in my process, then all is well. Right? And so we're wanting to just surrender, release. Even those things that we do not know or understand, but that are toxic in our body, because we do not need to hold on to that. We can choose to hold on to it, but we'll still be spinning in that same cycle. And what we want to do is we want to say, okay, I'm off this train. I'm not staying on here. That hamster wheel is done. I'm getting a different placement, right? I'm going to follow a different pattern. I'm going to start to surrender the things that are not pleasing, the things that don't make me feel good. If it doesn't feel good, let it go. We don't need to, go through all the drama around it. We can just say, you know what? I don't feel good around this, so I'm letting it go. I don't want to do this. Yeah, I know that everybody's expecting me to do this, but you know what? I'm not going to do this because I choose, right? Self-care. I choose to love myself as well, fully, right? this is truly, truly an important part for you to have resonate with you. Does it resonate with you? Can you resonate with that?
I think you hit the nail on the head. As far as self-talk goes, no one has said anything as cruel to me as what I have said to myself. I am very hard on myself, very critical of myself, and I do hold on to things, and I have a hard time letting things go, and I can't correct what's happened in the past. It's gone, but I'm going to stop you.
I'm going to stop you right there because I want to pull that back. You said, I can't, right? I can't stop that. And so what I want you to do is I want you to rephrase that, and I want you to say, I have the power to change the way I think and feel. I have the power to choose what it is that I'm wanting to feel like. I have full and complete authority over my life. I have that. I own that. I sit and I reclaim my power in this moment. So I just said that into you so that you can resonate with that and you can receive that fully, because that is so important.
Yes,
so important. Yeah. And we're having to go.
I'm going to have to interrupt and say that Pam, stay on the line. Work with that frequency. We're going to go to a break, and we're going to bring you back with us, okay, Miss Pam? So just hang on. We'll be right back from our last break, and we will wrap the show up, and we'll be right back.
Oh, thank you.
Your conscious connection to a more mindful world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Ascending Hearts is no ordinary dating site, but a spiritual dating site with a purpose, to link you with your soulmate. We engineer the serendipity so you can trust that you will attune with someone that has the same matching vibration as you. Ascending Hearts, the conscious dating site for the spiritually aware. Try Ascending Hearts for free. AscendingHearts.com.
Imagine yourself being transported to India, to the banks of the Ganga and an ashram in Rishikesh. Visualize that you are welcome to satsang with an American sannyasi who shares the wisdom of her guru. Your visualization has manifested. Join Sattvi Bhagawati Saraswati for inspiration and transformation every Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio.
Coping 19, brought to you by CDC and the Ad Council.
With everything going on, there may be times you feel like you can't handle it all. Journaling, meditating, and talking with friends and family can help you feel more grounded and better able to cope. Your kids are also going through a lot of new experiences, and simply talking with them about their feelings can be quite powerful.
Find more self-care and coping tips at coping-19.org.
Welcome back to Shooting the Shift, and I'm just going to say, I know Marilyn is doing that magical juju woo-woo she does with the energy. And Pam, I did want to say I tuned into you really quickly, and I it's interesting because our last call I was talking about embracing the fun and the creativity, and if there was a year for you ever that was to be selfish/selfful, this is it. So it's really important that you find these pockets of time to do this kind of work that Marilyn's suggesting and these affirmations in a really fun way, and try and embrace some of it in the wonderment instead of making it a duty or a task. So I just wanted to interject that. Marilyn, how's it going over there in your twirling and whirling?
Good. So welcome back, Pam.
Hi, thank you.
Yes. So I just wanted to, I have to, get back in and check in, right? So it's like, it's interesting because we took the break and now I have to just, come back in. So the question that I have for you is, so far, do you feel like this is, on point, helping you, directing you in a way where you feel a little bit more centered and more understanding.
Yes, it's almost like letting go of the anger.
Yes, because you know what? When we have anger, then it just eats away at us. And it really isn't serving any purpose other than just like kind of like holding us in this pressure cooker that doesn't feel good. And then we can't do anything that is, how would I say, that feels good, right? Because we're so angry that the anger just covers everything and colors everything. So sometimes it's important for us to be able to say, right, and we might be angry, like I'm hearing, okay, so the anger is coming from maybe your understanding around why you make the decisions that you make and why other people react the way they react around those situations. I mean, this is just what I'm picking up, and I think that it's important for you to recognize that everybody is having their moment, right? That everybody is going through something, and you are as well. And it's important for you to be in the place of acknowledging what your pain looks like, because when we are in pain, then sometimes, and we can't shake it and we don't know what to do with it, right? It becomes anger and rage, right? Because we're trying to figure out how are we going to shift this. And so what I'm going to say to you is that I'm wanting you to shift it in a way where it's more proactive for you. So what I'm wanting you to do is that when you feel pain, I'm asking you not to hold on to it. And because what happens is that, in keeping the pain, it's not going to help you. It's just going to, have ownership over you and over the decisions that come in your life, right? Because it all affects it. So it's all raveled in there. So we want to unravel all of this. We want to untangle this. This hot mess. We just want to say, okay, we're just gonna release that because we no longer need that. We already know that, life is happening and we're learning. We are learning. My mantra right now is I am learning. I am a work in the process, right? In my progress. And this is so important, not just for me, but for you as well, and probably for a lot of people who are listening, because it's important for us to be able to say, hey, you know what? Yeah, I said something and maybe it didn't land right. And that's okay too. Maybe I triggered somebody. Okay, all right. Okay, so what did I learn from that? But I don't want to hold that as, like something against me or against my energy, because then I'm carrying that. And then that bleeds into everything in my life. And you don't want that. You don't want that, right? You want to be able to be clear and you want to be able to feel good. So when you start to do the self-judgment, when you're self-judging yourself, or you're just feeling, down on yourself, or you're just feeling like, oh, what do I do that for? I shouldn't have done that again, or, just saying terrible, terrible things to yourself. You can just say, oh, okay, all right, come on. Yeah, I don't do that anymore. I don't speak to myself like that anymore. That's not how I do that. There you go. Oh, there you go. You're okay. You're okay. So you talk to yourself, and I know that for some people it might sound like, wow, what kind of nonsense is that? But I'm telling you that this works, because that inner child, the one that was, told all the time that they couldn't get it right, or that no matter what they were doing, it just wasn't going to turn out, or whatever the cause might be, right? Is still there trying to find herself and trying to be acknowledged and trying to be held and to be loved and to be cared for. And you can do that. You can do that. I do that a lot, right? Because I want to love on my, that hurt inner child, that wounded one, the one that says, but I needed this, and I'm going to say, and here I am, and I'm giving it to you now, sweetheart, and I'm going to hold you, and I'm going to hold you until you're okay, and I'm okay, and then we are okay, because then we are one. And so you see how beautiful that interaction can be. And it really is so simple. But when we are in that energy, like that frequency right now, when I did that, it felt so good to me. It was like I felt like I was being held in such love and in such compassion that I couldn't do anything but just melt in it. And then blends back to that child again, right? And giving her what she needed. Because this is it. This is it. This is what we're doing, right? We're getting to the place where we're happier again, where we're able to say, I'm going to sing, I'm going to dance, I'm just going to shout out to the world, I'm going to play, I'm going to look for the joy in everything and everyone around me. I am no longer going to keep looking out for the danger or the things that are out there that are coming to get me. No, because nothing's coming to get me but joy. Nothing's coming to get me but love and compassion. Nothing's coming to get me but, the excitement of knowing that, my goodness, there's so much beauty in the world around me, and I can tap into that. So I'm just wanting you to feel that, because this is a very, 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 very important time, right? Because you did say when you started that this is going to be a good year for you. I think it's going to be a great year for you, because you're going to start to shift those old patterns. And you're not going to shift them with anger. You're not going to beat yourself up because you went there again. Oh no, sometimes, we go there all the way again. And then we have to go like this and catch ourselves at the end and say, I noticed you did that again. And that's okay. It's all right, because we're still learning, and we are going to learn how to do this. And right? And then we just keep doing that. Instead of beating ourselves up, we are gentler, kinder, loving, more compassionate to the self, to ourself. Let's love on others like we love on other people. You wouldn't say certain things to other people, right? And you wouldn't treat other people the way you may be treating or speaking to yourself. So say, okay. So then you can say, I will no longer do that, and that's okay. And I know that I'm going to trip up, because I know that this is an old pattern. I recognize that, and that's okay too. And that is okay too, because I'm going to acknowledge it, and I'm going to not feed it. I will not feed that anymore. That is going to shrivel away. It's going to shrivel away. It's going to just move away. And the less of it you do, right, the less of the interaction with that energy of shame, blame, guilt, anger, right, the less interaction you have with that, the more loving, compassionate you're going to feel towards yourself.
Yeah. And you may need a box of tissues too, because you might get quite weepy with all that compassion that comes up for yourself, sweetheart.
Yeah. Well, you can see me now. Marilyn. I have tears rolling down my face. So,
Good. I love that, right? Because that's what you want. Because you want the clearing. You want the clearing. You want to be able to continue to move that energy out of your body in whatever form it wants to, right? And tears are cleansing. Tears are cleansing, right? They remove a lot of the grief, because sometimes we hold such grief in our hearts and in our lungs and in our body, right? For things that, sometimes we just couldn't help things. Sometimes we just couldn't help it, and it's okay. We are okay. But we, judging ourselves, it really doesn't help. It doesn't help us. It just puts us deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into the energy that we don't want, right?
Right. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
So what I'm wanting you to do is I want you to feel the frequencies, right, that are moving through you right now. Right now, those frequencies are moving because they're moving that energy, and they're swirling and swirling and swirling and swirling. Swirling and swirling and swirling and swirling. And the energy is just moving, 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 booming, boom, 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 boom. Right? Because we're just saying, it's okay, it's all right, it's okay, it's all right. Oh, it's okay. I love myself. I love myself. I love the mistakes sometimes I make, and that's okay too, because I have to learn. And if I don't dare to make a mistake, then I will be stuck and I will be stagnant. And so I choose to make those mistakes if I have to and learn from them. And that's okay. And I love myself in and through all things. In and through all things, I love myself.
Wow.
Beautiful, beautiful one. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know, for stepping in, right? For stepping in and for saying, yes, 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 I can do this.
I'll have to let you know how I'm doing.
Yes, yes.
You absolutely do. Keep us posted. And I would just say, remember, you know, those emotions, they're coming through the water. And when you're feeling them, you're healing them. And that's where we hold our emotions. We're 98% water or something. I'm not a scientist. But I know when I started doing this, the tears, they flowed and flowed and flowed. I just get in my car and start weeping. And I wasn't even feeling sad. It just came out of my body. Just let it come out. Let it be. Be okay with it. Because that compassion is your new best friend, darling.
Yes, self-compassion.
Marilyn, that was beautiful.
Thank you. Self-compassion, for all the listeners and for everyone that we've spoken to, it's self-love, self-compassion. Let us continue to be in that frequency. In that frequency can move all things. Let us love ourselves through all things, because this is truly important, especially for 2022. Right? 2022 is a rediscovering of the self. And we're going to do that. We will be doing that. And that's why we've decided to do the calls on the radio, because we want to assist others, right? Because as we assist others, we assist ourselves as well in that movement of this energy. Right. So thank you to all the callers today.
We got to do the juju we do, right? And we need people to participate. So, Pamela, thank you so much for calling us today. Keep us posted. And we're going to let you go. You bet, darling. Peace and blessings.
Thank you so much. Blessings to all, right? Thank you.
Love you all.
Love you back. Bye.
All right, so Marilyn, I think we did pretty darn good. I think we had 2 callers. I lost count. I only called one person by the wrong name. You know, I am so bad with names. I loved everything you shared with Pam, and I'm so excited for our listeners, because I have been the lucky son of a gun who has had your gifts bestowed upon me, and I know how powerful they are, and I know you're just getting started. You know, I know for me, when I started that journey, I was surprised by how much I needed to weep. And it wasn't sadness. It was sad, but it wasn't, I didn't feel like I was drowning in sadness. I felt like I finally was shifting everything in that stream of compassion.
Releasing.
It's really hard to explain until you do it, right?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So is there anything you'd like to share? Well, we do have some exciting stuff to share. We are embarking on doing OMTimes TV in March. So you're going to be able to see our faces twice a month and see what we look like. And we get to interact with some of the chats going on. So I hope you'll stick with Shooting the Shift. You know, we are one of the newer shows here. And we're just so excited. We feel really revved up today because we got to do what we do best, help other people. Yeah. And we just love that. And so, Marilyn, where can people find you? They want to work with you.
UniversalSacredMedicine.com. I also wanted to make sure that everyone tries to share, right, our Shooting the Shift, time and station, so that others can participate as well. So I just wanted to say that.
Tell your friends, like the breakfast. They told two friends, and they told two friends. So yes, I love that. And you can find me at angelwithanedge.com or elizabethlindsay.com. And I also have a public personal Facebook page, elizabethlindsay.com. I'm the gal with the blue streak. And you'll see Marilyn on my page periodically because that's where we do our show announcements.
Right.
And we just really do want very much to help people feel as good as they can at wherever they are on their journey. So we will be taking calls from now on.
Yes, we will. And this is fun. I loved it. And
Good.
I'm so excited. Yes.
I can feel it. I can feel the buzz. Well, I guess we're going to wrap things up for today. And we are going to send you off with love and light. And don't forget that you are a precious being. And you deserve to be treated with respect, love, and light.
Yes. Blessings, love, and light to all.
See you next
time.